For today's cup of coffee, we're going to be talking about a little bit of cryptozoology, and I don't think it's necessarily in the realm of the unknown or the speculative at this point. I'm going to be talking about chimeras, and yeah, you're going to have to deal with shaky cam on this because there's no way that I can use the tripod and do everything I'm supposed to do. Chimera is, as you can see, the Greek monster with traits of lion, goat, and the serpent. And so it's a hybrid creature. And these things have been a matter of speculation for a long time. There's a lot of different mythology. Everything from the Egyptians, the Hindu religions, different faiths have myths of these hybrid creatures that were part human and part something else, animal usually. I think that maybe even as far as the Aztecs, possibly the Mayans and stuff like that. I can't remember exactly where Quetzalcoatl was. Somebody I'm sure can correct me on that, which that was a serpent. But one of the most recent ones as far as chimeras was the chupacabra. And I have been a fan of the chupacabra legend since pretty much it began, and this article said that it was back in 87, and the ones that we were that I had heard about was from Puerto Rico. And chupacabra means goat sucker, and that these animals were supposed to be vampiric in nature, that the animals would be found, that they were drained of blood. And some of the scientists are claiming that the chupacabra, it was a matter of coyotes and with mange, and that's what you got a picture of here, one that has died of mange, and that they're saying that this was the basis of the chupacabra legend. I'm not so sure of that because there were tales that there were research labs on Puerto Rico that could have been working with the production of different chimeras. And we've got, I will post these links in the description box, as far as 3 human chimeras that already exist. And this was interesting because this also went into the realm of what I was familiar with already. Now, if somebody has, there is such a thing as an absorbed twin, where you've got the dual embryos and stuff like that, and that one sort of cannibalizes the other one, it becomes part of the other. There's a strong possibility that my father was an absorbed twin because he had double organs that he shouldn't have. So that's one of the ways you can tell somebody may have had that. This article also goes into the fact that there are some people that can have separate DNA within separate parts of their body. They didn't explain that, but one of the examples that they gave was a woman that they did a DNA test on her children and claimed that she was not the parent, and come to find out that she had double, DNA, which that's pretty interesting. And also, as far as if somebody has had organ transplants, they're saying here as far as bone marrow transplants, that can leave you with 2 sets of DNA, and they're saying that those could be considered chimeras. I would argue against that in the fact that it's human. So yeah, that seems to me that they're like setting up people's minds to sort of accept things. And it was interesting because this article was from 2016. Then we have an article that was from 2017, where they're already doing this research with human and pig hybrids. And then from 2019, we have, as far as Japan, and the first human animal embryo experiments. And this is from April 15th. You may have heard about this one. If you travel in some of the same internet circles that I do, you may have already heard about this and maybe not. And as far as the first monkey and human embryos, And they were saying that they were only, they only lived up to 19 days. But folks, now let me tell you something. By the time that we are allowed to understand publicly certain information that has been hidden, oh, it's well hidden. It's so far beyond that we can't even fathom. And this was an interesting read here, and this is from 2020. But this article, and I very much believe what they're saying on this, because our government being as our government is, that a lot of the experiments are funded by NIH, and that they're done there in China. And it very well could be. And the Chinese did say this about a year or so ago, that the funding did come from America. I don't discount that in the least. And that they got the blame for it. Something was unleashed. Something was uncovered. We have no idea at this point the reality of it. We do know that there's been a lot of pushback as far as being able to even explore different forms of ideas, different information. That would make anybody wonder. And this was the most interesting one. And I'll see if I can get a shot of that. The American public is ready to accept human-animal chimera research. Yeah. So this is, and you know, have things like different TV shows and movies and stuff like that where you have these hybrid creatures. Has that been preparing us for many years? I think so. This isn't new. Let's go back to Genesis. Let's go back to as far as the story of the Nephilim. If you haven't read the book of Enoch, it's First Enoch. There's lots of them out there, but First Enoch is what you're going to be looking for as far as, you know, the Watchers, the fallen angels. You can go back to as far as the Garden of Eden. Snakes don't speak, folks. And that what was produced as far as the fallen angels and the human women were Nephilim. These were hybrid creatures. You know, we were told that they were giants. We don't know exactly what they looked like. Well, we do, actually. 6 fingers and 6 toes was one of the characteristics of Nephilim. Now, if somebody's got polydactylism, please do not go out there and accuse them of being a Nephilim. But a lot of this stuff is being repeated. I was talking with my mother today, and a lot of times in Western society, we have Greek linear thought. Something happens, so therefore it doesn't have to happen again. Hebrew thought isn't cyclical. This happened, so therefore it will happen again. So, yeah, just would like to have your thoughts about these subjects. And I am on BitChute, so if you don't feel free to post some comments on the YouTubes, then go ahead and comment over on BitChute. BitChute, they're quiet people over there. And that's okay, because some of the ones that aren't quiet maybe should be. But anyhow, this is almost beyond belief. Yeah. So anyhow, if you've got interesting research studies, things that you know about, paranormal, supernatural, alien, UFO, ghost sightings, substance use and abuse stories of alternate realities, whatever you have, send those to me at cupofcoffeewithscream@gmail.com. I thoroughly believe that secrets keep us sick. Hidden knowledge has kept us ignorant for centuries. And so as we reveal these things, as we bring them to light, we're poking holes in darkness, one story at a time. You all have a beautiful, blessed day.